Hey there, and welcome back. Today's episode is travel related. And before I dive in, I want to share a product that I can no longer travel without. During the last couple of trips I've taken, I've been grateful for one new product that I started using in the last year, and that's a disposable face towel. Somewhere on social media in the last year, I was convinced to buy a box of clean towels, which are sturdy disposable face towels. I now don't know how I traveled without them because hotel washcloths are nasty. I mean, who knows how many butts they've touched. And bringing my own face washcloth, which I was doing, is bulky and messy. I stash a few of these disposable towels in my toiletry bag, and I'm always so happy when I get them out to use them. If you're not familiar with these towels, I'll link to them in the show notes. They are awesome. Okay, on to today's episode. Today I'm tackling the top 3 summer travel sleep problems I hear about most often. And of course, sharing simple, realistic solutions that will help you enjoy your trip without totally derailing your child's sleep. Whether you're heading to the beach, visiting grandparents, or flying across the country, these tips will help you feel a lot more confident heading into summer travel. If you're planning to travel with your kiddo soon, this episode is for you. Hi, I'm Allison Egidi, a pediatric sleep and wellness coach and a mom of 2. I love to help parents find solutions. This is How Long Till Bedtime. If you have travel plans this summer and you're feeling a little anxious about how it might affect your child's sleep, you are not alone. This time of year, my inbox is flooded with questions from parents getting ready to travel with their children and wondering, should we stick to our schedule or just go with the flow? What do we do if we're all crammed into one hotel room or bedroom at my parents' house? And maybe, most importantly, how do we fix things if sleep does fall apart while we're on vacation? All right, let's go ahead and dive right in. Problem 1. How strict should we be about naps and bedtimes while traveling? And the answer is, it depends. Here's the thing. Vacation is obviously supposed to be fun, although I still say vacation with young kids can be more of a trip than a vacation, but that's a whole nother story. If you try to stick to perfect naps in the crib every single day, it may actually cause more stress than it's worth. At the same time, completely throwing the sleep schedule out the window, especially for young babies and toddlers, can backfire and lead to major overtiredness, crankiness, and meltdowns. In fact, the worst travel experiences I had were during my first 2 years of parenting when I went along with everyone else's plans and schedules, and I didn't put my foot down to prioritize my children's nap schedule and bedtimes. So how can you balance not missing out while keeping your child well rested? Here's the approach I recommend. Keep your child napping in their typical nap windows, meaning the typical windows in which each nap happens, even if those naps are happening on the go in the car, stroller, or carrier. If you keep them napping at the right time, or at least within their typical nap windows, you'll avoid throwing off their sleep rhythm, which can help you avoid unnecessary middle of the night wakings or early wakings that often come with a disrupted rhythm. Protect at least one solid crib nap per day whenever you can, even if it means heading back to the hotel or house for a break. It's fine to do 1 or 2 naps on the go, depending on how many naps your child is taking. But if all the naps every single day are on the go, they will not be very restorative, and it's going to catch up to you. And you'll likely end up with an overtired child later in the day, possibly then up during the night or up early the next day. Aim for a roughly consistent bedtime. If you had a super busy day, try to prioritize getting your little one to bed on time or maybe even early. Going to bed on time is the best way to help your child fall into a high-quality sleep that will then lead to a restorative night and a child ready to rock and roll again the next day. So join that 5 p.m. dinner club because you might learn that you love it like we did. In fact, we were just on spring break shortly before I'm recording this, and even though my kids were not going to bed at 7 o'clock, we were still part of the 5:45 dinner club, and it was fantastic. It's about finding that sweet spot where you can make memories and protect your child's sleep enough for everyone to still have a good time. So take this into consideration when you're planning dinners. Problem number 2. What do we do if we're all crammed into one hotel room or bedroom during the vacation? Or if our child has to share a room with a sibling that they don't typically share a room with? First, know that it's really common for families to share a room when traveling, especially if you're staying in a hotel, a rental house, or even visiting relatives. So if you're worried about how it's going to go, you're definitely not the only one who has this concern. Here's the goal. Create as much of a separate sleep space as possible, even if it's not perfect. So here are some ideas. You can use a closet, bathroom, or hallway nook to create a mini bedroom for your baby or toddler's travel crib. Yes, I'm serious. Many families stick a travel crib in a walk-in closet or even in a bathroom if there is space. Use a slumber pod over a travel crib or their toddler mattress. The slumber pod allows you to put your child in their own little blackout space, and it's easy to travel with and set up. One of the reasons this is an amazing tool is that if your baby or toddler wakes up, they won't just see you laying right there next to them or see their sibling there. They're going to know, most likely, that you're in the room, but they won't just be staring at you. If you don't already have a slumber pod, you can use my affiliate discount code, which is Sleep and Wellness Coach. I'll add a link to that in the show notes. Don't panic if you end up needing to provide extra support during the night. Try to handle sleep with a business as usual approach because sometimes our kids surprise us and they do better than we expected. But if your child ends up needing extra support and that's the only way that you're going to be able to get to sleep, don't panic because that's what question 3 is all about. Even if you feel like things have totally crumbled, we can recover from it. Okay, on to problem number 3, and honestly, the one that's often on parents' minds before the trip even starts. And that is, what if sleep totally falls apart while we're away? How do we fix it when we get home? First, take a deep breath. It's completely normal for travel sleep to look different than home sleep and even to be thrown off. The very best sleepers can struggle with unfamiliar environments, inconsistent schedules, or all the excitement that comes with a vacation. So sometimes it's not even the child that we're expecting the struggle from that we end up with a struggle with. So if your child's sleep gets a little messy, it doesn't mean you've ruined all of their good sleep habits. Here's the game plan for getting things back on track once you're home. 1, go back to your normal routines immediately. Same bedtime routine. Your child goes back to sleeping in their own bed in their own room. And the same sleep expectations that you had before the trip. Kids, even babies, are so smart. If you let those vacation habits come back home with you, you're more likely to have sleep struggles at home. More of a true sleep regression. So plan to reset immediately. 2, prioritize early bedtimes for a few nights if your child seems overtired. Sleep debt is real, and the fastest way to recover is with earlier bedtimes and good, solid overnight sleep. There is a good chance your child will be tired when they get home, even if they slept pretty well. Prioritizing getting them back to a well-rested state as quickly as possible will help you avoid a triggered sleep regression. 3, be consistent. Even if there's some protests at bedtime or at nap time, or there's a waking during the first night or two when you're back home, if you are consistent, your child will quickly reset. Most families find that within 3 to 4 nights, their child's sleep is completely back to normal. And after you do this a couple of times, it will start to be a seamless transition. Little ones learn so quickly that while sleep may look different when you travel and you're not at your house, it will always be consistent at home. So after you do this a few times, it will become much easier. And even if you felt like your child was having a sleep regression while you were on your trip, remember that their sleep skills didn't disappear. Your child still knows how to sleep independently. They just need a little reminder and reset so they can get back to that good foundation. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode. I hope these tips leave you feeling more prepared and honestly more excited about traveling with your little one this summer. A few small tweaks can make a huge difference in helping your child stay well rested and letting your family really enjoy your trip. For more tips on summer travel, be sure to go back and listen to episode 35. And if you would like to connect to talk through a specific trip, I'm always available for a 30-minute Zoom consultation where we can discuss sleep on your travel days or throughout your trip, anything funky that may be happening. You can set up a consultation with me at www.sleepandwellnesscoach.com/packages. If you found today's episode helpful, I'd love it if you would take a second to share it with a friend who's getting ready to travel with their kiddo, or leave a quick rating or review wherever you're listening to this podcast. It's a small thing that helps so many more parents find the show. And don't forget, if you want links to the clean towels or the slumber pod I mentioned earlier, you'll find those in today's show notes. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll be back next week with another episode related to international travel. Safe travels, you all, and sweet dreams. Bye for now. Thank you for listening to How Long Till Bedtime. To learn how we can work together to improve your child's sleep, please visit sleepandwellnesscoach.com.